Keeping your portfolio aligned through market cycles. Hi, welcome to Elements in Focus. My name is Aaron Rheaume, the Director of Financial Planning. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's video. I've got Grant Thompson, our certified financial planner, and one of our seasoned advisors in our Anderson office. Grant, how's the day going for you, my friend?
I am good, Aaron. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Love doing these videos and putting out the content. If you are new to this, this is where we break down our 5 critical element process in a weekly video series where we cover each one of these topics every other week. And today we're talking about the investment side. If you want a better understanding and a deeper dive into the investment playbook, you can tune into our market carver that goes out every Thursday at 11:04 a.m. Our allocation team, Adam, Andrew, Zach, usually will put out a weekly market carver giving you more in depth about what is happening inside of the markets for that previous week or that week. And so, Grant, turn it over to you. This topic, we've seen a little bit of market volatility. This is year 2025. We saw some in February through April of this year. At the time of this recording, had a couple choppy weeks, but this is going to air here in December. So we'll see where the rest of the year shapes up. But with all that being said, what are we talking about?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. So, really, when it comes to market volatility in your portfolio, it can get really tricky when you're trying to figure out how you should be invested. So, again, like Aaron alluded to, earlier this year, you saw a major downturn in the market in about February through April. And so, one of the things that we look at and that we're going to look at when a family comes in is how are they invested. So, when you think about that, the first thing that I would tell you to think about is what's your goal. So, if you've got a long time horizon until you have to start pulling that money out, you might be invested differently than somebody that is currently pulling that money out. So I would ask you, what's your goal? The second thing I'm going to look at is, what is your risk tolerance? How much risk are you willing to take on as you invest? And so when we look at those two things, then we're going to kind of get an idea of, okay, this is where we're going. This is our goal. And then from there, we're going to look at really two things. And so historically, there hasn't been much access to the private market. That's starting to slowly not be the case. So now RIAs are able to gain access to more private side. And then instead of the public side, you're going to be able to diversify out from there. And so when you look at market cycles, it's not about timing it. It's not about, how can I buy low and sell high? I know that's something that we've always been taught, but it's going to be more so what's your goal? What does it take to maintain your standard of living? And then really the final thing that I would look at, I know that I'm biased, but I love our allocation team. Like Aaron talked about, we release a market carver that you can watch. I would seek professional management. A lot of times it just becomes too much to keep track of. It becomes too much to deal with. And so families have had much better success when they hire professional management to make sure that their goals are still being taken care of.
Mhm.
So, Aaron, anything else that you would add to that?
No, what I heard you say, and I'll try to summarize this, is make sure you have a plan and stick to it.
Yep.
Don't let fear and market cycles dictate your level of pulling money in and out of the market based on different ups and downs of the market. So, time and time again, we've seen people make bad decisions during periods of market cycles that were less than favorable. Grant did mention, seeking the help of a professional. It's our job to help you keep calm, cool, and collected during those periods that don't feel very safe or natural. And so stick to a plan. Make sure you have that plan identified and documented and well laid out. The other thing too, Grant, and we talk about this often, is just paying attention to your standard of living. I keep harping on that. Your standard of living is really what it takes for you to maintain your lifestyle. So Let's say you're later in your years and maybe you're retired. You have a fear of the market going down or fear of potentially running out of money. However, you've got a good pension and Social Security income, and your standard of living is very modest. Your portfolio has the ability to absorb some of those market cycles without making bad decisions. I'm not saying there's not times to readjust or rebalance or reevaluate some of the positions inside of the portfolio, but it's not a all in or all out type of situation. So I'm going to pass that back to you, Grant, for anything else you want to add. But that's kind of my addition to the question that you asked.
Yeah, no, I mean, not much to add there. You're absolutely right. If I could summarize it into a short sentence, it'd be to have a plan and stick to it.
Yeah.
The market's going to do what the market's going to do, and largely we can't control the outcome of that. We can make sure that a family is positioned correctly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's our job again to have the plan and stick to it.
If you want more information or you want just a review of where you're at along your life after work, or even if you're looking for a different guide to make sure that your financial journey is going down the right path, FEG is here for you. Give us a call, 800-928-4001. You can request a complimentary next steps meeting at yourlifeafterwork.com. There's a contact us section. You can fill that in. One of the advisors on our team will give you a call, reach out, ask you a few questions to make sure that we have a good understanding of what you're wanting to accomplish in that next steps meeting. During that next steps meeting, it's a 90-minute meeting where we'll consult with you and we'll have a collaborative talk about your situation, your specific situation. We'll give you things to think about today, things to think about in the future, and if we decide to partner together, a written plan for what FEG will do for you and your family. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the work we can do for our current families and absolutely appreciate any future families that we can take care of. Have a blessed day, and thank you so much again for watching.